Alrighty folks, this is Renegade Operative, and today I wanted to do something fun, something interesting, something that's been on my mind for a while now since Fourth Snake did this with Mortal Kombat. I wanted to do a tier list based around fighting game characters, and the first thing I thought of was Tekken. I want to talk about the Tekken characters I like and dislike, or I feel indifferent about in the middle, because there's always a middle ground to everything. Once again, a huge thank you to Fourth Snake for inspiring other content creators and making ideas like this. I figured it would be something fun to do, and hopefully you guys think it's fun too. So let's get right into the video with OBS, and hopefully you enjoy. Take care. I'm kind of wondering how I'm gonna start this off. I guess I'll start with the obvious first choice here. So we have Anna Williams and Nina Williams. Let's push you back to the side a little bit, Miguel. I think they're both like, aren't they both like clone characters? Like they play similar, but we have Nina, who was the OG. They're both sisters trying to kill each other. Nina kind of progressed a little bit because she did have her own game, right? Death by Degrees, even though it was shit. And there was also the fact that she's the mother of Steve Fox. And that really didn't go anywhere in Tekken 5, I believe, but, you know, I find Nina to be the more interesting character between the two. I would say I don't play with Anna much, so I'm kind of indifferent on her, and I like Nina. Next up is Miguel. Just making sure we're recording this shit, because I don't want to fuck up. Miguel is a strong powerhouse character. He's always looking for Jen because he thinks that Jen had something to do with the death of his parents. Wasn't that like debunked or something? I don't know. But yeah, I like those powerhouse characters that can knock people around and fucking just decimate their shit, so I'm gonna pick that. Mokujin is the carbon copy amalgamation of all the characters in the roster due to his fighting style, which is basically every character's in the roster. So I'm kind of indifferent on him because it's like he kind of messes with the meta a little bit. It's like, okay, if you don't know a certain character and you pick him and he defaults to that character after you lose or win, you might get bodied. He's like very gimmicky to that effect. So I would put him in indifferent. I don't love him, but I don't hate him. Next up is Asuka Kazama. Asuka, how the fuck you say her name? I'm not really too familiar with her, and I don't play with her that often, so I would have to put her in the indifferent slot. Don't love her, don't hate her, never tried her. Next up we have Armor King. I would say a majority of the King characters I like, and Armor is no exception. I do hate that they like kill him off at one point and they just defaulted the regular king to his position that took over. It's like multiple kings in the Tekken storyline, so that kind of gets like kind of confusing. But I do like the king characters, you know. Chain Grab City, the Chain Gang, Chain Grab City. I just, when you learn how to use these two mountain of men, these two powerhouses, these two grappling kings, you are basically a fucking god. Azazel, I don't like Azazel as a boss in Tekken 6. I played like Tekken 6 on the PSP and he's annoying. Tons of fucking gravel, crystal, diamondized rocks. I don't know how you explain it, but he just keeps doing that move on the ground and taking massive amounts of health. Took me a while to kill him. He's the worst boss I ever fought in Tekken, next to, you know, Devil Kazuya. I mean, at least Devil Kazuya has some, you know, charisma going for him with the look. The look looks cool. Azazel's like a big giant bubblegum mess, so I don't like him. Obviously I'm gonna put Negan in the like category because he's awesome, voiced by Jeffrey Dean. I'm gonna put him right up there. He curses, so that's also cool. Like if I don't have the DLC for him, but if I did, I would definitely buy it just for that sole, you know, fun factor alone of beating people with Lucille. Next we have Bayek. I can't say I like him a lot. I definitely like his protege better, Harong. I definitely like Harong better than Beck, but I don't hate Beck. He's a Tekken 2 OG, so I'm kind of leaning to like indifferent, or never really played with him that much in Tekken. I always favorite Bruce, which, speak of the devil, I'm gonna put Bruce here. The kickboxing style, excellent. The overall aesthetic, excellent. The fact that he worked with Kazuya, that's cool. I like Bruce. Bruce is awesome, man. You could argue that he was the first spammer when you play with him in Tekken 2, but I can't hate the guy. Akuma, Street Fighter veteran, definitely made cool in Tekken 7 as well. Shin Akuma kind of pissed me off. For that reason alone, I would put him in the dislike category, but since I have respect for the character, I'll put him in the like category. I feel like he also, as a guest character, he kind of added to the story a little bit too with the Mishima bloodline, even though you're like, kind of, what the fuck? What's going on here with like Kazuya and Kazuya's mom wanting, Heihachi and Kazuya dead and all that, and like you have this assassin, which is Akuma, in the middle, and it's kind of that last showdown was like fucking cool, man. It's like you can't hate that. So we have Noctis. I have to put him in the indifferent category because I didn't play Final Fantasy 15, and also I didn't play with him in Tekken 7. I don't hate the guy, I just haven't played much of him. I heard his damage was like really, really bad. So it's like, I don't know, maybe if I decided to finally get that season pass, I would pick him up. But no, for right now, I don't hate him, and I can't say I like him because I didn't play his game, nor did I play with his character in Tekken 7. So next we have Brian Fury. He's going in the light category. The badass cyborg who beats everyone up and throws broken tanks and shit just because he likes it. The guy who had an awesome ending in Tekken 5 where he fucking flat out murdered Yoshimitsu. That dude, the music and how he just pulled out the gun and he's like, you know what, you're mine. Boom, he pulls the trigger, screen goes black. You're like, holy shit, one shocking ending. I like Brian's character, his fighting style, just everything about him just screams cool. Plus, I think he's a reference to, like, what is it? Roger Hauer from Blade Runner, right? His character, Batty, Roy Batty. Yeah. So it's cool inspiration. It's a cool character. You could say he doesn't have much going on story-wise, but honestly, he just wants destruction, and that's all you need. He's a like. Next we have Panda, putting that in the dislike category, not just due to the jokes, but also just I don't like reskin characters that much. Like, I'm not gonna lie, if you play like a clone character, it's hard for me to really take you seriously unless you evolve and grow into your own character. And honestly, Panda is just like Kuma, right, in terms of fighting style. So I really am not a big fan of a lot of clone characters. I kind of feel indifferent about Kuma as well because I understand, like, he's a veteran and all that, but I just haven't played with him that much. I really haven't got down to the wire of experimenting with that character a lot, so I don't have much to say about him. I don't hate him. I don't dislike him. I know he's Heihachi's pet and that's it, and he does some hilarious shenanigans, but it's not enough to really justify liking the character for me, so have to put him in the indifferent category there, bud. Here we have Gunjack. Okay, where's regular Jack? Is he on here, or is it just like, okay, you just got this guy? I'm kind of just like siphoning through right now. I know they have regular Jack. Come on, man. This can't be the only one. Unless I'm blind, I'm blind. Oh, I see one that's definitely going on dislike. Gigas. He has nothing going on for him. He's not even barely used in tournaments from what I saw. Correct me if wrong though, but he doesn't have much going on. The only thing that was kind of cool was the rumors that it could have been Craig Marduk. I don't know if that's like true or not. I think it turned out to be false though, if I'm not too mistaken. I think it was false. So Gigas, he doesn't do it for me. I don't like his look either. He's like a failed reject of Shout Out Tomatoes and Olives as a character in terms of character design. So I'm not feeling like the 1000 spider eyes on his face either. It's like, dude, get a better design. Here we have Jack and Gunjack. Okay, I'm gonna say I appreciate Jack. I like the Jack character. You know, he has a really tragic backstory too. I believe he was like, he has this girl that he tries to protect, and every time his model is always destroyed. And that was conveyed as well in the Tekken animated movie, like with that little girl and shit. So he has a really tragic backstory. I like the character's moves as well. It's funny when he does the little midget kick, the hop kicks on his knees when he does that input, and he does this like fucking, his moveset is cool once you learn him. He's hard to learn in later Tekken games, but I appreciate Jack. Gunjack is like, I'm indifferent about. I don't know much about him outside of the fact that he debuted in Tekken 3. Even though I like Tekken 3, I don't have much to say about this character outside of the fact that he's just a Chrome Jack, and that's it. I think that's the only thing going for him. Let's see, time on the clock. We're 11 minutes in. Holy shit. Okay. So we have Raven here. Where's Master Raven? We're gonna lump those two together. So Raven from Tekken 5, which he debuted. I'm gonna say I like him. He kind of has that whole Blade aesthetic going on with the black, and he kind of looks like Cisco with the fucking blonde hair. It's like he looks cool. He reminds me a lot of Blade, and I think that's what they were going for, kind of a little bit. His fighting style is very unorthodox and weird, but once you really discover how he works and you do all this crazy stuff with the air teleporting that he does as a ninja, it's kind of awesome. I never mained him outside of Tekken 5, but if I were to play just Tekken 5 solely, I would totally pick that character, like absolutely, because you know the mysterious story as well behind him knowing about Heihachi's death and his role in the tournament, you know, as a sort of guy who has all the cards and he's not showing them to any of the opponents. I like that aesthetic as well. Master Raven, I'm gonna put her on the indifferent category. Again, I do like Raven's fighting style and getting accustomed to it, but I don't know much about this character, and I wouldn't put her over the OG, another clone character I really did not touch. Claudio, I like him, even though his fighting style is very simplistic. Like if you're a noob or something, you can easily figure out how Claudio works. Same for Shaheen as well. I feel they are easy characters in Tekken 7 to learn and main. I don't know much about their stories. I wouldn't say their stories are their strong suit. Isn't Claudio like some family heir, and isn't Shaheen like Sing Long? I don't know. I don't know like much about their stories because I didn't play their arcade ladders that often. But in terms of gameplay alone, in terms of look, they look decent. You know, they look like decent characters that you can easily pick up and play. Lucky Chloe, you know what it is, fam. I do not like this character. Spam character, lows constantly over and over again, annoying animu voice that just scratches in my head like a broken record. Hi, I'm fucking tired of fucking this character. Like I don't like Lucky Chloe, man. It's props to people who are in these sort of circles who likes these Neko characters and these kawaii characters, Japanese characters, whatever the fuck you call them, but it's not for me. Paul Phoenix, definitely the light category, an OG. He's been in Tekken since like Tekken 1, dude. He's The blonde hair, the blonde eraser head, the punishing moves that he has when he gets you in the corner. It's all about Paul Wall City. I like Paul Phoenix. I think Paul Phoenix is a great character. Just he got character assassinated in the story because at first he was a force to be reckoned with. He beat Ogre in Tekken 3, the final boss. He decides to say, fuck it, I'm going back home. I won this tournament. Ogre turns to true Ogre. He gets screwed. Paul was a force to be reckoned with. To think that he actually almost won a tournament is crazy. And then they turned him into a joke character, and it's like, oh, so story wise, yeah, it sucks, but gameplay wise, he's still cool. Still a cool character. Next up we have Bob. I'll put him in the light category because I like his moves. I don't know much about him as a character, but that move set is really hitting. What is this? The little kangaroo character, Roger. I never played Roger or Alex that much. I know they play the same, so I think Alex is the clone character, but I faced them before. I'm pretty sure if I open my mind up, it would be like cool to experiment with these characters, but I just have no idea how they play and no idea how their story is coordinated because I never was interested to pick them. Even from a design perspective, I'm like, okay, we have a raptor with boxing gloves, with blue boxing gloves, and a kangaroo with a baby that has boxing gloves. All right, then. It's like, don't hate it, but I'm not compelled to pick it. Oh, you know where this guy is gone. You are the sole reason why Tekken 3 is not on PSN, because your creators, they were like, oh, we own this license, so we want these royalties, and eventually Tekken 3 never got put out on PSN because of this stupid no hitbox character. I have no idea where he spawned from, where he came from. His moves are stupid. He farts on you. I don't like Gon. I'm not the biggest fan of Gon. The same can go for Dr. B. I know people might crucify me for this, but hear me out. Outside of a few novelty matches, Dr. B is pointless. Think about it. Outside of a few matches where you're like, okay, I could do these crazy freaking damaging moves and Dr. B breaks his back in the middle of a match. But outside of that, to me, he's pointless. I don't like having this crutch of constantly falling over in the middle of a fight and needing to adapt to my surroundings because my character is that fucking old. I just find him to be a gimmick fighter at best. Next up we have Heihachi, my dog. You are going rightfully where you deserve. Next up we have Devil Jin. I would say I like him just based on the premise of him having Jin Kazama's old moveset, along with the fact that he also bolsters some pretty cool endings, like turning into a true Devil Jin with the whole consumption of Jinpachi. I thought that scene in Tekken 5 was awesome, where he turns all black and he explodes the whole area. That is cool. Also, Devil Jin shows up at the end of one of my favorite endings, which is the, family bloodlines with Heihachi shooting Jin in the head, and Jin throws the soldier against the wall and he just gets back up, grabs Heihachi by the skull, throws him out of the temple and lands on top of him, flies away. Woo! That was a cool ending, I'm not gonna lie. For a regular Jin, that was really cool. But Devil Jin, yeah, he brings back the Tekken 3 aesthetic of Jin Kazama's old moveset, because after a while in the storyline, you find out that Jin unlearns Mishima Ryu, so he has this traditional karate set that evolves over time. Speaking of Jin, where is he? I would say I like him. A tragic sort of anti-hero character that is of a cursed lineage in the Mishima bloodline. He tries to be like good, but he borders on anti-hero with some of his decisions, but he's really trying to do all this stuff for the greater good in Tekken 6. And you're led to believe he's evil when he's really not. He's trying to seek out Azazel. So a lot of complex stuff is going on with Jin, and I think this will lead to a cool encounter with him and Kazuya finally settling the matter in Tekken 8. Next we have Devil Kazuya. That noise, oh my god. I don't know how I feel about Devil Kazuya. As a boss, he annoyed me. So just on that sole reason alone, if you play Tekken 2, just on that sole reason alone, I would say dislike. I really would. This guy has caused me some childhood pain and trauma and frustration and absolute grief, and I would put him here, but I would have to say my heart says I'm indifferent, because while I don't like him as a boss character, I never really played with him that much in Tekken 2 when I unlocked Devil. Is regular Kazuya on here though? He's a like OG. Once again, I appreciate his fighting style, his moveset, even though you could say him and Heihachi, they have like, and Jin as well, they had like similar movesets at one point. The Mishimas are fun to play with, man. You can't, like, if you really enjoyed these characters, even though they have like some clone movesets, they are all unique and different in their own subtle ways, which I can appreciate. And their storyline too is like the highlight of the Tekken series. So of course, if I factor story in here, I would definitely have to put them as top tier characters in terms of who I like story wise, because I feel their stories are definitely the most fleshed out. Alright, so that was a bit of a weird jump cut I had to do there, but I am back. Let's continue on with this list, making sure we're all good. Okay, so next up is this Devil Kasumi? Yeah, I'm gonna put her in dislike for being such a cheap bitch. Who is this dude? I swear, isn't this like Lily's butler that plays just like her? I don't know how I feel about a dude doing a female's moveset just because he's an additional clone character. I'm bordering on dislike, but since I didn't play with him, I should give the benefit of the doubt and say indifferent, because I know he's in tag 2. This is Dragunov, by the way. I'm moving like really quickly, so I would say Dragunov is the same. I don't know much about him. His moveset looks interesting, same with the grapples, but I can't really paint a pretty picture on that character. Next up is Eddie Gordo. Okay, so is bordering on dislike simply because the XOXO shit is real in Tekken 3. Very scrubby Tekken 3 wise, and Christy is no different in my opinion. I don't like those capoeira characters at all. Even though Eddie has a cool story and Christy's like whatever tag along clone character, I don't like these characters that much. It's cool to see them in competitive play when people use them, but I'm not the biggest fan. Same for Ganryu. He's essentially like just Tekken's E Honda. There's no other way to describe it. Is this another Jack? I think I got the Jacks mixed up. I swear this is Gunjack. No, wait. I did. All right, I made a mistake. So this is actually Gunjack. This is Prototype Jack. And I don't know. I just like normal Jack. And I would say Gunjack is the same. He's just in Tekken 3. He looks kind of cooler design wise, so they would both be in the light category technically, so technically I'm not wrong there, but that's Prototype Jack. He was in Tekken 2, I think, and I didn't like him too much. He's like, the design just doesn't, he's like just Jack in a military outfit, that's it. And we've seen this before, he's just all chrome and shit. I think they also had Jack prototypes in the Tekken animated movie, so there's that. And I think that is jump cut number 3. I apologize in advance, people, for getting that Jack mishap incorrect with Gun Jack, Prototype Jack, and Regular Jack, but can you blame me? It's like 3 variants of the same character. Anyway, I'm glad I corrected that. So next we have Combot. Combot is the amalgamated character in Tekken 4. He's essentially the Mokujin of Tekken 4, where you play with him and you shift through the movesets of varying characters, and I really haven't played with him that much. I have no desire. Don't hate him, but he goes there. It was funny beating up the Combot robots in Tekken 7, I believe, or Tekken Tag is one of those. What is this bitch? She looks like Neo Tengu, but I'm forgetting her damn name. She has like narcolepsy or something. I played with her once and she's okay, but not enough to main, and I don't know her backstory, so I don't hate her, I don't love her. I played with her a few times, really didn't stick on too much. I would say she's on my indifferent list. Lily, you know where she's going. You know where she's going. I don't like Lily. I'm sorry, Lily fans. To me, she's annoying. To me, she's like a discount Karin from Street Fighter. She annoys me. Maybe it's just the online matches that I had, but every single time it's always these weird flippy kicks, like she's part of the fucking Young Bucks, and I'm like, okay, no, I don't like this at all. Hold on, is that Kasumi? Okay, well, I'm gonna put her at the top. She's gonna be next. Same with Metal Mokujin, and everything I said about Combot and regular Mokujin applies to him. Let's see. Kazumi Mishima. This is Jin's like grandmother, Kazuya's mother. I don't hate her as much as Devil Kazumi, but I didn't play with her that much. I mean, the tiger's cool and her combos when she, puts them out. I like that. Storyline wise, she is some connective tissue to what people wanted to know about Kazuya's mother. So I would say she has a purpose there, but I really can't say I like or dislike, man. So I'm so indifferent on that character. Steve Fox, it's hard to say on him. On the one hand, I do like his personal vendetta story and him being the son of Nina Williams. At the same time, he's a scrub character, easy to pick up and play, has way too many damaging moves. You could say the same for Paul, but at least Paul is interesting. Steve Fox is just like, I don't know, his moveset pisses me off because he's so easy to pick up and play. At least Paul requires a little bit of effort, but Steve, no. Get some flicker punches in, you're done. I don't know, fam. And remember, these are just my personal opinions. If you like these characters I dislike, then that's fine. Just for the moveset alone though, would he go in the dislike category or indifferent? That's what I'm debating on. Yeah, if I put Eddie there, then I have to put Steve. It's something that has to stick. I'm indifferent about Marduk though, because he has a cool introduction. Supposedly he is the murderer of the original Armor King, and then from there he becomes irrelevant in the story. So he's like a rivalry type character. There's that noise again. He's a rivalry type character, and I mean, Brian is the same way, but I haven't really played a lot of Marduk. It was cool he's in the Tekken 7 DLC, so he came back, but I have to put him here because storyline wise he dropped off, gameplay wise he never really enticed me. This is Fang Lei or whatever the fuck his name is. Fei Long. I don't know. He's another Chinese character that's really like good in Tekken 5. I just remember he's in Tekken 5. I don't exactly remember his name. I like him. I like him. I thought he was great in Tekken 5 and onwards. He is still fun to pick up and play. Let's see, Geese. Oh, the King of Southtown is definitely going in the light category. Same for Forest Law. Well, he is a clone character and he didn't show up much in the other Tekken games. I think he was prevalent in Tag 2 and Tekken 3. But I still would say I like the Laws because they are cool, you know, amalgamations of Bruce Lee. I thought that was a cool little tribute. Their moves are fun. Learning them is fun. Storyline wise, it's like they are joke characters in somewhat of a sense, but it's whatever. They're still fun to play with. Isn't this the robot bitch, Alyssa Boskanovich? I don't like that character too much. I'm not really a fan of the look. I'm not really a fan of the moveset. I'm not really a fan of her being Dr. B's robot. I don't like Dr. B, so the master and the creator can go together like peanut butter and jelly. Let's see. Whoa, wrong. Oh, wrong. Jin's nemesis. I like him. Moves are good. Appearance is awesome. Storyline wise, he's a rival character, but he beat Jin, and that's one of my favorite characters. So go figure, right? So I put him in my light category. I forgot this dude's name. Tiger, right? He's an amalgamation of Eddie Gordo. You go right next to him in the dislike category. This is JC, and I believe she is the what was it? The alter ego of Julia Chang. I'm indifferent because I never played with her that much. Same for Julia. Yeah, well, then again, and that's Michelle, right? So I would say I'm not too familiar with Julia or her alter ego outside of just knowing that she is a clone character of Michelle Chang, and she was in the older Tekken games, and I do like that character, but I'm not a fan of her daughter too much. Eventually she turned into a Twitch thought or something in Tekken 7, and I'm like, okay, they've done nothing to really progress this story of these researchers that are working to find out something on the devil gene. That's what it was originally about. Eventually it just got ridiculous later on, so I'm like, yeah, I'm not a fan of her daughter because I feel like she does nothing for me story wise. Who do we have next? Jinpachi? Look, I hate this man. When you didn't know how to sidestep fireballs in Tekken 5, you will legitimately hate this man as a final boss. I think I hate all the final bosses, well, mostly all of them, if I'm not too mistaken. I thought Ogre, he might be the exception. He was cool. Ogre was cool. He had a move that could kill you in one hit too. I forgot what it was, but I think Main Man did a video on it, and that shit is amazing. He is by far a cool looking character. He actually did work in the story. He supposedly killed, at least according to when Tekken 3 came out, he killed a lot of Tekken characters when that shit happened. So this man put in work. All right, who's next on the docket? Oh, True Ogre. He looks like the devil, man. That shit's crazy, but design wise he looks sick, but at the same time it's like I don't know if I like the character because I didn't play with him that much. He's kind of not memorable as a final boss. If you want my honest opinion, I prefer his first form over his true form. So I would say dislike, man. If I'm being honest, he can't be indifferent. I just don't. He just doesn't have that aesthetic as his first form to me. So I don't like it. June, she's a like. I played with her during Tekken 2, and I found her to be awesome to play with. Very, very different from the typical Mishimas and stuff like that. She has her own cool, unique moveset that migrated over to Jin, which I can readily appreciate. And I wish they would do some more mainline story stuff with her, because they are proposing that she was assumed dead. Now she's missing. Now supposedly she's alive again. I don't know. A lot of weird conspiracy theories about the character after Tekken 3, but maybe they will resolve that in the future. Who knows? They do need to resolve it in the future. Katarina, I can't say I like her too much. I don't like fighting against her. I am not really familiar with her, and I think both of those factors put her in the dislike category because I am not that much of a fan. Next we have Unknown. I would put her in the indifferent category. She's mostly non-canon, so that kind of hurts her a bit. Yeah, like she showed up in Tekken Tag 1 and then Tekken Tag 2, and supposedly she is the missing link of Jun Kazama, an alter ego. She has like this werewolf creature, like a stand, like JoJo, sitting behind her. But I never really played with that character before. She's not the most annoying final boss in the world for Tag 2. She is beatable. But I don't know. I'm just indifferent right now because I like June, but Unknown is like a big ass question mark where she's naked. I mean, that's a plus. She has like purple ooze over her, and that's always a plus. So just gonna put her in the indifferent category. Wang Jinrei, indifferent. I don't hate him, but I don't like him, and I never used him. Same for Kimimitsu. Never used her before. All I know is that she is related to Yoshimitsu's teachings or something. I don't know. She's like a protege. I don't know what she is. Like, all I know is she hangs out with Yoshimitsu. That's it. Obviously the main man has to go here. Yoshimitsu, he gets a like. He can stab himself and do a harakiri and take the other person with him or kill himself. So when you have a moveset that crazy, you gotta go in the like category, fam. And I also liked his war with Brian Fury, and just his look is always different each game. He never looks the same. Never. I think my favorite Yoshimitsu look is from Tekken 3 and Tekken 4, where he has like the skull face and he looks like a beetle. That shit is cool, man. That is awesome. Yoshimitsu is always going to be a favorite of mine no matter what. Lee Chaolan and Violet, you already know I main this guy. His damage is not the greatest, but hey, I mean, I like Lee and I like Violet, and I don't care if they're clone characters. These are my mains. These are the people I screw with. I don't care if they're clone characters. I like these characters. They're awesome in Tag 2. I should go back to that game. But yeah, man, I can't put Lee down. Lee is my favorite. Lars is indifferent. I think they also tried to do something really ambitious with his moveset, but I never really played him that much. That's the problem. And I like his look too. He doesn't look like your traditional Tekken character with the, the anime-ish look in the armor suit with the cape and everything. Looks pretty unique. So I always wanted to try Lars. I don't like him, but I don't. Well, I'm leaning towards like, but I don't dislike him either. But I haven't tried him, so I'm like mostly indifferent on him. But it's leaning towards like. It's leaning towards like for Lars. Believe me. Lei Wulong goes into the light category. The Jackie Chan of Tekken. That's all you need to know. Leo, I like Leo. Leo's cool. She reminds me of like a female Paul in some sense. She has those like crippling attacks that she can do, and she's fun to play with. A little bit on the androgynous side, because she looks like she's dressed up like a tomboy or something, but she's a cool character. Angel, would I say I dislike? I would say indifferent, because I never picked her up or played with her, and her story is just, oh, I am the good side of Kazuya that got split out, and it's not really that compelling to me, so I don't like her, I don't hate her, she goes indifferent. Zafina, I hate that bitch. you know I hate this crab walking piece of garbage. I do not like Zafina that much. I'm not the biggest fan. I didn't like her during Tekken 6. I didn't like her during Tag 2. I don't think I ever will like her. The only thing that's interesting about her now is the fact that she is linked to Azazel with the Azazel arm, and I find that semi-interesting, but it's not enough to put her as a favorite character or even an indifferent one, so I dislike her completely. Alright, we have 2 more characters here, and it boils down to Ling Xiaoyu's friend, which has the same fighting style as she does. And you know, sometimes my thoughts on clone characters varies. Sometimes they will be good, other times they will be like, I don't care for this character that much. So Ling Xiaoyu herself, I would put her in the light category. I enjoyed playing with her in Tekken 3 when she first debuted. I liked her moveset and everything. I thought she was cool. I'm not a fan of her story though. It's too notice me senpai for me, like, because all she's doing is chasing around Jin, who doesn't want to fuck her. He's too busy on focusing on the Mishima bloodline and ending it. So I don't like her storyline wise, but completely as a character, looks and everything and all this shit and her moves, I would say I enjoy her on that front. And as for Ling Xiaoyu's friend, I'm not too familiar with her in Tag 2. I can't say I like her. I probably do like her moves because they are similar to Ling Xiaoyu's, but I don't know too much about her story at all. And I would say that's it. Here's my King of Iron Fist tournament favorite characters, dislike characters, and the ones I'm indifferent on. And it's quite a few that I like. The good outweighs the bad. There's a few I dislike, which I don't think I will be changing my mindset on. And there's a few that kind of are interesting, but I really did not pick up on them as characters, or I found one aspect boring and the other to be semi-interesting but not really. So there had to be an in-between here as well, and there's a couple of characters that fall in line with that. Maybe this list will change in the future, you never know, or maybe it might stay the same. But comment below, let me know who is your favorite Tekken character, which is a character you like, which is a character you dislike, and which are Tekken characters that you happen to feel indifferent about. Sound off in the comments, let me know. This is my personal opinion on the characters I appreciate, dislike, and feel indifferent about in Tekken. And once again, I thought this was fun. Despite the noise distractions, I had a good time making this video. And once again, if you like it, please share it out and let me know your opinions below. See you later.